Good morning, folks. Welcome to a very rainy, misty, kind of gloomy day here in Central Texas. It is yucky, but we're still going to do a few things. We got to clean the chicken coop today. And I was going to talk to you guys a little bit about the chickens and the chicken coop, and just kind of give you an idea of what our system is, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, and just show you some various stuff on it. And so as soon as I get out there to the coop, we'll pick back up filming, and we'll show you guys what we got. Good morning again. All right, we're back. We're gonna take a walk out to the garden, or out to the chicken coop. I don't know if you can see her or not. My honey is in the big garden. Today is her birthday, and she's still out here pulling stuff out of the garden. Say happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
So we're gonna go out. We're gonna clean the chicken coop this morning. We just walked around the gardens and took a look at everything, and man, everything looks great. I'm really wishing though that we could get some dry weather. It's just raining and raining. Here you can see the rhubarb over my shoulder. It actually looks pretty good. If there's water all over the camera, sorry. It's just really misting, and so we're gonna go out here and see the girls. I've got 3 chickens. They are Rhode Island Reds. I got them from a lady hi guys. I got them from a lady that raises them about 35 miles from here. And here you can see them. They're good girls. We got them. They were probably maybe a little older than they should have been. We got them, and I want to say they were probably 20 weeks old maybe. And so they've been good layers though. They're about 3 years old now. We get at least 2 eggs a day, sometimes 3. We have one that kind of lays every other week. Or every other day, I mean, every couple days usually. They have a big area here to themselves where I leave them. We have a nice tree here where they have lots of shade. And this whole area here is theirs to just kind of roam with and eat bugs and do whatever they do. The coop, you can kind of see it over my shoulder here, is a pretty cool coop. It's interesting. It's been really nice, and it's good for up to, I think it was 8 chickens at this size, maybe even 10. You can kind of see it there. I let them out and let them roam during the day in this area. I had a water system in it at one point. I've since taken that out. It was PVC pipe. In fact, I've still got a section in it, though it's not actually working. Had a lot of trouble with it. It didn't do well. I'm sure it was my setup somehow, but right there you can see some of it, that there was water up in the upper coop part. This whole thing was pretty easy to build, and I got the directions to do this. I got the plans off of and I'm going to open the door here. It's really dirty. That's why I'm out here. I'm going to clean it. But here's the inside. I've got to clean it. That's what I'm going to do right now. But there's a YouTube channel called SSL Dad. I think it's Self-Sufficient Living Dad. Very cool guy. Has some great stuff on his YouTube channel. Lots of cool stuff. They just recently moved. They actually had a bigger farm than what they have now. but they just recently moved and got us 5 acres in the woods. I think they live in Michigan. But anyway, he has the plans for this coop on his website or on his YouTube channel with a link that you can download the plans, and it has everything, and they're very well laid out. I've never built anything like this before, so some of the things like cutting the cutouts here for the roof, you can see that, so that the 2x4 sits down on it. I'd never done anything like that. Since this was all kind of just kind of measuring and guessing and measuring and guessing. But since this, I've actually gotten some tools that allow me to actually make those cuts really well. Just because I'm kind of one of those people that I just want to know how to do it better, you know, and as I'm trying something like this, you know, I think I've talked about in other videos where Tammy and I just have talked about wanting to sell the house and move to the country and get 2 or 3 acres, you know, to have a little bit bigger operation. So when I build another coop, I want to know how to do it and do it better, you know, and I read all the time, I watch reviews all the time of things. There's a lot of those little prefab coops that you see at Tractor Supply and places like that, and I love Tractor Supply, I love Home Depot, but you have to be careful with those. Especially here, we have incredibly intensive heat. Our summers we'll have 2, sometimes 3 months over 100. Just amazing heat. And the reviews on a lot of those coops that are prefab are that they'll basically last a year, maybe 2. The heat just tears them apart. Absolutely makes a mess out of them. So yeah, you can't, they just don't last. This one's all 2x4s. It's the plastic roofing style, like you would put in a greenhouse style roofing. That's what it's all made of. It's made of the trying to think of what they call the board. It's like it's not a real plywood, it's like a pressed board, and it's made out of that. It's held up really well. It doesn't really leak at all. The girls seem to like it, and they you know, they keep using it, keep laying it. This is the laying boxes here. You could kind of see that, and this has got a hood on it that lifts up. And we already got the eggs for today. We got 3 eggs today, and so now I'm going to go through here, and I've got my garbage tub here, which is all my where I put all my trash stuff and I keep it out here just for the girls. And then over here, I actually have a metal trash can, and in that I have shavings. I have they're animal bedding shavings, and they will suck out a lot of the moisture, a lot of the smell that go with it, especially since we're in an urban area. Have to kind of keep an eye on that stuff. And then I just put on these are orange gloves by Gloveworks. I love them. They're actually a mechanic's glove, and but they work great for this stuff, and you can get them in a box. I want to say I got them at Home Depot. You can get like 500 of them in a box. Really nice gloves. And so I just kind of get in here and clean it out, and then I'll put some fresh shavings in. They're funny. Chickens are funny. They will. There's 2 laying boxes. There's 3 of them up here, so they each have a laying box. They almost always use the same one. Almost always. They depending on the year, they'll lay up here in the upper part. But in the winter, for some reason, sometimes there's a single box down in the run, and for some reason they like to lay down there. I don't know why. I think it has to do with the daylight. Chickens like the daylight for some reason to lay in, and so yeah, because I notice that when it gets dark too, when it gets darker, when it's getting into winter months and stuff, they don't lay as much. And so now that we're starting to get some summer and we're starting to get some pretty days, they're laying a lot more. So that's nice. Like I said, we've never had chickens before. If you've never had chickens, they're a hoot. They really are. They'll follow you around. I used to let them roam in the gardens or out in the yard. And we really don't have any predators per se. We have hawks. I mean, in all the years we've lived here for over almost 20 years, I guess. We've never even only seen a few snakes here and there. Really don't have any of that stuff. So we're lucky that way. Very rarely see a raccoon or anything. So it's starting to rain harder. We so I don't worry too much about letting them roam. There's been a few times when it's been really nice that I even just I usually come out and put them up at night, and there's been a few times when it's been really nice where I don't even do that. I just let them, and they always go up in the coop to sleep anyway, so it doesn't bother them. But they're funny. They'll follow you around. They want to be where you are, but they're great for bugs. They're great for weeds. They'll eat weeds and stuff. They'll eat a lot of the foliage, the garbage foliage that you'll pull out of the garden. They'll eat like lettuce and things, cabbages. We'll put as a treat sometimes. We'll put on a stick, or I mean on a piece of string. We'll hang in the coop. You know, a treat like a old head of cabbage or something. And you'll come out the next day, everything will be gone except for the string. It's incredible. I've actually had them kill mice before, which I had no idea that they would do that. I had to get online and do some research just to see, because I'd never heard of them doing that. But yeah, they'll actually even kill mice. They'll kill snakes. It's just crazy. And then, but when it comes to, now of course ours are, I guess, as domesticated as they can be. When you walk up to them, they'll sit right down and wait for you to go ahead and pick them up. It's just they're kind of showing you that they're letting you dominate them, etc. Now I'm gonna take my stuff here, and I may actually have to use it. I have a little scoop. Hold on. Every time you move someplace, they think that you're gonna feed them. Well, definitely starting to rain harder. As a treat, I like to give the girls dried mealworms. They really like them. And I do that usually once a day or so. Oh, yeah, it's really starting to rain. Yeah, they really enjoy them. All right, let me see if I can get the inside of it done here before it really gets bad. We have had so much rain. It just seems like a daily occurrence. Oh, God, here it comes. All right, I think we're going to call this for right now. Anyway, go to SSL Dad for the instructions on building the chicken coop. If you have any questions, hit me up. Again, as I always say, I'm no expert. Maybe this is going to subside enough to where I can do this. But I'm no expert by any means. Again, and it's so funny. Look, it's raining. They hate the rain, and so they're back inside. We had we were of course like a lot of places. We got in that horrible snowfall this year, which we don't ever get snow, and it was just crazy. Everything froze up. We lost power for 2.5 days. It was just nuts. And so I came out, of course, still taking care of the girls, and I came out, and they wouldn't. Of course, they'd never seen snow before, and they wouldn't even come down into it. They would started to, and then they would stop, and then they'd come right back up in the coop. I have to say it was pretty funny. All right, I think I might be able to finish this before all the real hard rain comes in. Oh man, it's raining like crazy now. Now you can tell all your friends that you sat and watched some idiot clean his chicken coop in the rain. But this is something you have to do, and I know they appreciate it. Yeah, all right. It's so funny once you start getting animals, farm animals and stuff, and again, these are the only thing we have right now, but you do start having concerns for, you know, like weather changes and things like that, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, I hope they're okay, and then coming out and checking on them, or you know, once you're feeling that they're okay, then also then it becomes your crops. Tammy and I, in torrential rainstorms, have actually been out and trying to set our corn back up because it was falling over from the wind and from the rain, and just doing everything we could to try to save our crop. And I have to say that was in a couple years past. I have to say stuff is looking amazing this year. I did put in a drip system, a water system, so I think that's helped some. We've had a ton of rain. Wow, I mean, it's just crazy. But just in the last couple days, you can probably see here, not only is the garden growing up, the grass is going crazy. I got weeds everywhere. I have to mow, but it won't dry out. I mean, it's just, everything is so wet that you can't do anything. You know, every mower's gonna plug up, everything. It's just a mess. Anyway, I think that's about it for today. You've watched me clean the coop and talk about the girls. If you have any comments, just put it down in the comments section. I'd love to hear it. Have any questions, put them down there and I'll check them out and be happy to answer whatever I can. Help you do the research. Again, YouTube is an amazing resource. The details for the coop are on the YouTube channel of SSL Dad, SSL, and he's got downloadable instructions there. There's tons of resources on chickens. Again, I read books. I watched a bunch of YouTube and things before we got our chickens. We love them. I said we get 2 to 3 eggs a day, and you know, it's like anything out of the garden. The taste is amazing, and you can taste the difference. It's no different than going to the garden and grabbing a fresh tomato. the difference in a fresh tomato as opposed to something that you get from big box store is incredible. It's hard to describe how much better it is. And it's just fun to be able to walk out in your garden in the evening and grab some fresh vegetables to have for dinner. Today we're going to have steak. We basically eat one meal a day, and so we're going to have a nice steak dinner for, well, I guess what you would call brunch for us. We eat about 1:30, and we're also going to have fresh asparagus, which is out of the garden, and probably some sliced tomato or something to go with it. It's going to be amazing, and someday I actually hope to have hogs and things where we can have our own meat too, which I think would be wonderful. But anyway, that's kind of a roundup for today. We hope you guys, wherever you are, we hope it's sunny. It's not here. But we hope you have a blessed day. We thank you very much for tuning in. Hit subscribe if you would. Hit the like button if you would. We'd love to see the subscriptions go up. Share with friends and family if you think there's anybody that would enjoy these videos. Let me know what you think about the new logo. We have a new logo. We have new music that I wrote or put together. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about all that stuff. All right? All right. You guys have a good week, and we'll drop another video Wednesday. Take care.